I've had a no-show this afternoon, so and that happens in the ways of the world, you know. And we have such a waiting list. Sometimes people don't. They get tired or they decide something else. But so let's go over some of these questions that you have. So this is going to be question and answer number. I don't know what, but let's go over some of these things. And we did the sorry syndrome thing. Thank you, my friend. Sorry about all that. And then I did one on earlier on. I just want people to understand where everything is. Most of you already know this, but some people that visit the website don't understand kind of where traditional, and I don't want to use the word medicine, but traditional healing takes place. And around the world, you know, still around the world, traditionally, botanical medicine is the main focus. But we want to use herbs differently. We want to take herbs and we want to make them to clean the body out more aggressively, but we also want to use them to strengthen the body. So one of your questions has been on adaptogens, and you betcha I love adaptogens. Sometimes adaptogens are hot, like ginseng. So if you have prostatitis or you have a lot of acidosis, I don't recommend adaptogens right off because it just adds to the heat factor of the body. But I love adaptogenic herbs, very powerful on the tissue, and I really think plays a vital role in genetic remembering and the strengthening of cells. I love every herb from almost every walk of life, except maybe Peruvian bark, which is high quinine, and you know some of the more toxic things. I got into Cirrus, night blooming Cirrus, and it's like that's a little neurotoxic too. So there's some things I've been through that I really don't get into anymore. But adaptogenic herbs, you betcha. I mean, it strengthens the body up. I like cleansing the body first. Because of all the excessive heat and the acidosis of the body and all the damage and stuff, and then build it up. Because one I was just reading here was asking me about Cooley syndrome or blood disorders, and I'll find that and get to that. But when you're having hemoglobin and you're having daily or every week a new blood transfusion and you're not carrying oxygen and things, here's the thing. You get into your liver, you get into your spleen, you get into your adrenals, and you get into your bone marrow. Now, question is, what herbs are good for the bone marrow? So, some probably not going to like this, but I do use antler a lot, especially in my ultimate immune, because antler, you don't hurt any deer or elk. It's part of the velvet antler, the growth period, but a major adaptogenic substance in the way of looking at it. Very powerful cellular regenerator. And I think good for bone marrow. I think the ginsengs are good for bone marrow as well. But I've got some good Chinese herbs for the bone marrow. But I would get into the bone marrow. I would detoxify my body for sure. Get that blood alkaline, get enzymes in that blood, as you know, because that'll start separating the blood cells so their carrying capacity will increase. Get the adrenals up, because the relationship between iron and hemoglobin there is known. Clean the liver and the spleen. And as you go down this road, you'll correct this. I've had people that had no bone marrow left at all from taking pharmaceuticals, and they were on daily transfusions of blood, and then every 3 days platelets. You didn't mention platelets, but anyway, you've got to get into your bone marrow. Well, you know, you're into it's just going to take time to get into that bone marrow and rebuild that bone marrow and get into the adrenals. And same type of thing, though. You want to realize that it's still the lymph system, it's still the acids that started in your family chewing yourself down the road here. So really I would hit down that way. Now I've got a lot to cover here. I need your guys' help though. Now we're all detectives on the force of health. So I'm going to have you guys help me here. Now look, here's a lady, let's see, she's from India. Indian food. Oh, I love Indian food. But a lot of wheat and a lot of grains. And I'll say this, you know, I have a lot of Indian friends and a lot of GI tract problems, but I will say this. No matter what part of the world we're in and what we've done to survive in these lands, we need to bring the consciousness of fruits and berries and melons and salads and vegetables to the forefront now, no matter where we live, and bring that forth. We might have to grow some very large greenhouses, but we've got to do that, and pick from the seed, and we've got to do that. So you wrote that you had Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, and you have vitiligo. Well, I suggest that your thyroid problem, in just these two things that you're fighting here, sweetheart, is pituitary. Pituitary is the skin pigmentation, and also it controls the thyroid. So before I would separate those two, I would definitely get in a glandular for the pituitary gland. Work on my bowels, because I can tell you, most of the time, and I've mentioned this on other videos, that most of the time when we see sinus and head and pituitary, we see colon. And the wheat products and the grains, they destroy the bowels. There's no question about it. And so you'll want to work on your GI tract, and you'll want to work on your pituitary gland. Probably take a pituitary glandular. That'll help quicker. That should turn on your thyroid. If you have a thyroid that's weak specifically, then you can get into the thyroid tincture of herbs, or you can get into a thyroid glandular. But the pituitary is going to control the thyroid. And both of those, my suggestion, are probably linked with you. Probably pretty easy call that way. So it's just, we're waking up the cultures, where they had through the generations. But this is why genetics are so in our face now in the younger people. And I believe you said you were a younger woman, right? And so, or male, but it's hitting us. It's hitting us hard now. And it's hitting us so hard we have to realize that, oops, our parents didn't know. They didn't know. Grains were always considered a staple. I don't know, where that really came from, because really they're not. I mean, we had farms. All my aunts and uncles had farms, and truly grains were considered more of a fattening agent for cattle and hogs. We never really talked about it in ways of being a staple food. I think more people in the Midwest particularly got meat to be more of a staple, but really your fruits and berries and melons are the staple for Homo sapiens, and then maybe a salad on the side for whatever. But go into that body and clean it out. Hit your GI tract there, and get yourself cleaned up there, get the thyroid up there, and, excuse me, and get away from these grains. It'd be very important for your health to do that. So, Now, let's see here. Yeah, this is the one on the Cooley's anemia and stuff. Yeah. Go for that bone marrow too, my friend. Really important. Now, here's a good question here. This gentleman, this is Tim from the Netherlands. Hey, Tim from the Netherlands. You have a family history of balding, and you have a good set of hair. You've been on Raw. Your hair's getting thick and stuff. If you'll see on some of these responses here, people are already getting their hair growth back. I've had people that have been bald since they were in their 20s, and they were 60 and 50 when I met them, and I've never failed to grow hair on their head again. I think when you look in genetics and balding, you're really looking in genetics of the lymph system, the inability to move lymph. And the quicker you see that, again, the colon's tied to that, the kidneys are tied to that. I think when you see that and you go after those areas and you use that upper circulation like you're doing, it might take you a while. Sometimes people grow hair quicker than others, but I'll tell you, I've never seen one not be able to grow hair on their head again. And matter of fact, I had a lady that she owned a big herb company. And she called me and she said she had T-cell lymphoma. And she was in trouble. So she owned an herb company, and that herb company made our herbal formulas. And I said, listen, honey, you got to get raw. And you got our herbal formulas, and then you got yours. So I really kind of excited her, and she really went into this, tore into this. They had the money so they could order from Diamond Organics out of California, and she really tore into this. Now, she had salt and pepper hair, and she told me one time, she said, my hair went from, gray and black to black, and then to blonde. She said, I had blonde hair as a child. So does it make you wonder? Do we really know some of the fascinating things that could take place in the human body? Fascinating stuff. We've accepted what we see, and I look at these lab normals and everything else, it's like, we don't know. So, pretty far out. I'll say this, what else you got to do on the planet right now? Take off after that body of yours and really hit it hard. Here's a big thing here, though, with this is that you're thin, cold hands and feet, because you get the thyroid there. You're thin, so are we dealing in malabsorption or pancreatic? Remember, you guys, when someone's thin, what, are they not absorbing their foods properly? Or do they have pancreatic? They're not digesting their foods. You can eliminate digesting by, do you see particles of food in your stools? Do you see particles of undigested food in your stools? If you do, except for corn, nobody digests corn, but particles of undigested food in your stool would be a direct indication more pancreatic, depending on the food. Pancreas digests your carbohydrates, fruits and veggies. You don't want to see fruit skins in your stool. Not good. And definitely vegetable either, but we would tend to see more vegetable than fruit skins because vegetables are much harder to digest. If you're seeing fats or fatty stuff, then your liver gallbladder's in trouble. Of course, that sort of thing. So, the most frequent problem within this is malabsorption. Now, that's going to go back to interstitial lymphatic constipation. You like that word? I think we should put it in the Webster Dictionary. All right, interstitial lymphatic constipation. But how does that tie into balding? Because if you're having problems here, you're probably having problems in your whole family line of lymphatics. Isn't it cool that we can pull this back to the same thing every time? Because the only body is what? Bunch of cells and two fluids. We're keeping it general and keeping it simple. That's what I like. And when you can do that, you empower yourself, you can focus yourself. So I suggest your genetics is in your adrenals and your kidneys. You're not moving your lymph system. Now your guys' lymph system is backed up in the wall of the GI tract. You guys are getting malabsorbed from that. Of course, from that, the lymph system is taking off the hair and everything else. So work on all of that and work yourself out of that. Might take a little bit of a time, but that's okay. You can pop up that thyroid, but if your family is balding, you might have to suspect the pituitary here because that's up here. And when you go balding, what's taking off hair? When you see no hair, think chemotherapy. That's an easy way to relate to that. And of course, when you think of chemotherapy, think of acid. Hot acid. As nurses say, Drano acid. So that sort of acid, cellular acids are around 3 pH. Chemo's around 1.5 to 2. If they're using anything hotter nowadays, they used to use, I think, hotter, but you might ask your oncologist if you have one. I hope you don't. But if you have one, ask them the pH of any chemo you might be considering taking. A lot of cancer in the family, sugar problems. There you go. High blood pressure. What's sugar problems? Adrenal glands for the most part. All right. What's high blood pressure problems? Kidneys. Right there. Kidneys and adrenals. Guys, what problem are they having trouble with? That's right. The lymphatic system. Here's interstitial lymphatic constipation in the gut wall. He's thin. He's got suppressed thyroid. And he's got a family history of balding. Not him yet, but family history. So take off with that, guy. This is a good one. Do you know why my nose keeps becoming red, inflamed, and swelling and heating? How to cure this? Well, what would make things swell What would make things turn red? How many sides to chemistry is there? That is correct. There's only 2 sides to chemistry. Now, which side makes things swell? Which side makes things turn red? Acids, generally speaking. So this would show me that you're not moving your lymph system. Your lymph nodes are probably swollen under the jaw. You're not moving your lymph system. If you don't have any tonsils, that's even more of an issue. So you've got to move your lymph system, going back to the adrenals and kidneys, you know, and get your lymph system moving out. You clean up the bowel too. Don't take any chances. Clean up the colon, clean up the GI tract, get your kidneys filtering, get the adrenals to turn on those kidneys, and this swelling going to come out. And you want to make sure you do that, because of basal cells and everything else. They just love to cut off people's noses. You know, it's like, you know, don't go there. If you're having this for any extended period of time, get those kidneys, get those the lymphs going, get the bowels cleaned up, and get this redness and this swelling out of here. Tied to your sinuses, tied to your lymph drainage there. Do you have a deviated septum or anything that might be causing somewhat of a challenge in draining the lymph? But it doesn't matter if you do. You just keep moving down that line, my friend. Very important, because you could be converting cells to basal or squamous in the future. And not worth going down that road. Black salve would be not considered there. Now, this one, I kind of like this one. Who is this? Sustainably Green. Let's see here. Yeah, try to stay in the now. Yep, we got to do that. Let me see here. Yeah, you're the one who asked me about adaptogens, melatonin and the like. Melatonin, not an adaptogen. That's a hormone from the pineal gland. I would be, again, as I said, you don't want to take hormones, steroids, neurotransmitters. It's not worth what you have to then do when the glands stop performing for you. It's not worth it, because you have to do the same thing that you'd have to do now. So why wait? Because it just makes things worse. You know, I tend to be a little lazy now and then, but yeah, get into this and stop taking melatonin. Then take a glandular for the pineal gland. Or just eat a lot of berries, you know, and move your lymph. Because there's a reason that pineal gland is suppressed and you're not resting. And that wouldn't be a blood problem, but you can always take upper circulation to throw blood up into the head. And then move your lymph. You can push blood and clean lymph. You can't lose, because those are the 2 things that ultimately contact every cell, including pineal gland tissue and the like. So go after those things. And yes, it will suppress your gland's ability to make it if you keep taking it. So you go that way and move your lymph, and it'll just relax you down. Excuse me. There, thanks. Now, this was important. Yes, this is from Belgium, and I think Chris put our number of the clinic or the pharmacy herb store on there to help you call. That's where you would never want to put any of your personal information online here ever, because you know it just seems like a lot of rip-off people out there. But yeah, you don't. This YouTube is a totally educational site there, my friend. But you can contact the clinic or get on the website robertmorseend.com. Work out that way. Now, in August '07, this guy had an open bone fracture of his femur. Didn't say which one. After tons of antibiotics. Jesus, these guys just don't get it. I know you didn't give me a very good impression of your medical community in Belgium. You really didn't. And sorry about that, guys. And a lot of other medications. He had a frame on his leg for 3 years and couldn't bend his leg. Now the frame is off for 4 months and there's no progress in bending his leg. So the professor thinks some muscle has grown against the femur. And they want to open my leg from my knee to my hip and cut everything loose, even where the quadriceps are naturally attached around my knee. Well, That's just what I'm talking about. You know, these are the problems, and these are the problems when allopathic physicians are put out front instead of in the back. And no offense in that way, not meaning worse, but in the back simply means when you're needed, like setting the fracture in the first place and setting this gentleman up. But the healing part must be done by us and the body, because we're the ones that know. You gave him a lot of antibiotics which actually stopped the healing process. And of course, with the leg not being moved, he wasn't moving lymph well. And of course, this in a sedentary position can also be somewhat of a factor. But your lymph system has made it stiff and hard there. It's possible that your muscle has, but you know what? What you do is you get your kidneys and your lymph system moving. Now, we've got a bones formula. I'd get it in the capsule formula that accelerates healing. I'd also consider, if you're hard to heal, that you have a parathyroid weakness and you're not utilizing calcium well. So I look at my fingernails, I look at all the questions we have under the parathyroid, from varicose vein, spider vein type of things. You know, how strong are you in tissue and stuff like that. But if you're healing slowly, boy, I would pop that parathyroid gland up, suck down the kelp tablets, really get my lymph moving, get on raw, and start cleaning that out. And that'll re-heal itself, believe it or not. Whatever hasn't healed will re-heal itself, and you'll pull that lymph system. Your kidneys are not filtering well, I can tell you that right off, and you probably have weak adrenals, which is low steroids, to help you. Now, so we need to get your kidneys moving, don't we? We need to get your kidneys filtering. That's the adrenal glands. So we need to get your adrenal glands going anyway. That'll give you more steroids. That'll also give you more anti-inflammatory, if you want, and acid power. Then more neurotransmitters will turn on the nervous system in that leg more. You'll pull that acid stagnation out of there. That causes cells to grow a little wacky. If you do have muscle going to the bone, it should break loose on its own and heal itself. The body loves to heal itself. So what they're asking here is, I mean, this is the kind of stuff, but this is not as bad as half the stuff we see. So, yeah, they've made a lot of mistakes here. You've had a lot of medications. You've had 15 surgeries. Oh, my God. You're not healing, my friend. And healing is a base chemistry experience that also requires parathormone, parathyroid hormone, good calcium utilization there. So I'd really be doing a lot of fruits, berries, and melons, and I would be doing a lot of salads here. I'd be pumping some green drinks, pump parsley, dandelion, spinach. I would take kelp like crazy, 2 or 3 capsules 3 times a day. Really go after those kidneys and lymphatics, turn on those adrenals, and you'll heal up real good. Real good. I do that before I have that rip that leg open, because then you're going to create more scar tissue. You're going to create more adhesions. I mean, they're not addressing causative factors of healing, and that's where the difference lies in naturopathic, or should be, naturopathy, and allopathic. Allopathic is great for surgeries and things when you need them, but then the health care must be done by those involved in health. Allopathic is not about health. Never has been, never will be. That's not their focus. Can't blame them, it's not their focus. I can only blame an allopathic physician when he thinks he is. But he's not. He's involved in emergency medicine. And I just did a video linking that very thing to that reason. And you're a good example here of why the allopathic community must just wake up and realize where its specialty lies. And that leave us alone and let us come in and heal you up fine. You'd have been healed a long time ago. You've been with me. A long time ago. This is another good one, guys. He says, this person, Yoga by Kate. Oh, I like that already. I like that already, sweetheart. All right. And I think this is important. This project we're doing, kind of a Disney-type thing, except big. They have they want to focus on the kids, and I say, wait, no. If you want me ahead of this, we're focusing on everybody, not just children. We've got the elderly, and this is a good example, guys, because I'm in Florida here where seniors come down and they want to retire, and they're sick as dogs, and then they're on medications, and their life just goes spiraling downhill. Of course, they're never told they're coming from northern climates into a subtropical area, and they've got to change their diet. You got to change your diet no matter where you live. So this elderly lady, I don't know how old you are, sweetheart, but if you're doing yoga and you're elderly, you're my kind of woman. Elderly parents, oh, for those with, oh, this is your parents. Oh, okay. I'd read, I'd know more, wouldn't I? I hate reading. With elderly parents who are showing early signs of Alzheimer's. Okay, berries, melons, and grapes. You know, when you're older, in particular, your diet must be simpler because of the digestion, because of the teeth. You know, you want to make it simple. But, you know, how about the brain and nerve? What about the brain and nerve? What about the endocrine glands? If someone's older, don't you think we want to have more food for brain and nerve power? We want more food to keep the glands up and supported? Don't we want to keep their lymph systems moving so they don't get rigid and stiff and full of pain? Fruits, berries, and melons every time. I don't, you know, maybe a salad at the end of the day, or get some green drinks if you don't have the teeth. Alzheimer's, very important with Alzheimer's, guys. You want to get up in that brain. You want to move lymph. You want to use upper circulation, sweetheart, on your parents, and brain and nerve, especially my new brain and nerve. Really turn on everything, get blood flow, but as equally as important as moving blood up in these tissues, you want to move lymph. I'd also address the adrenal glands, of course, for neurotransmitters. That'll help the brain too. And you really just kind of turn on their bodies again. Keep digestion simple in them. But you want to power up that nervous system, power up that brain. Well, proteins don't do it. Starches don't do it. Fats don't do it. But fruits, berries, and melons do. So, and they probably benefit with a little kelp. Sorry about that. Now, I wouldn't do a series of monthly liver flushes. Now, I wouldn't stress them that much. If you could get them to do one, I'd be amazed. But if you know, I would clean them out, use a liver formula, get a lot of the raw foods and start cleaning them out. And then if you wanted to do one here in a month or two, yeah, go ahead. But if they're elderly, I'd spend some time detoxing their body and let the stones dissolve a little bit before I would do an aggressive liver flush on them. I think that'd be a good idea. But upper circ, brain, and nerve, key to this, and moving that lymph. You're on the right road here. Thanks for the comment. Thanks for the comment, my brother. A couple questions. Sun-dried olives, avocado. You know, I love all that stuff. I think Brazil nuts, all that stuff's good if you're not detoxifying in terms of the Brazil nuts. But if you're not detoxifying in flax, cool stuff, good. I don't care. Olives are supposed to be accepted. Yeah, dried olives. I mean, I love all that stuff. Date paste. Bejeweled date paste. Oh, my God. Yeah, you know what? You think smoking in the back room is good? Try a bejeweled date paste. Woo! Man, that is incredible. Yeah, good stuff. Copenhagen. Yeah, man. Sure. Keep it going. Good. Thanks for the response there. You guys are driving me crazy with these, but I love them. Alopecia, same thing I just did, you know, with the hair. Yeah. You know, really, the only true way to regrow your hair is get in that head of yours and move that lymph upstairs and get blood flow, and you'll see new hair growth popping all over the place. I just never see anybody not be able to do it. I just never have. So if you can't grow new hair, you're not doing something right, because it will happen. It's what the body does. So, good stuff. Miss Magnolia Love. Ooh, what a name. Ooh, I love that. Miss Magnolia Love. Ooh, what a name. Ooh, I love that. You know, these detox kits, honey. You know what? I just had Jennifer in here, and we're going over our new, because we're moving this into a health club. It's more protective for you and I. I'm in the private sector anyway, and this country does a lot of manipulation with the law. public versus private and all kinds of crap, U.S. citizen versus state citizen. There's a lot of stuff they pull over on people in this country. It would shock the average American to know some truths that I could give you over this that would blow your mind. How they're creating bastard children out of your birth certificates. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that's been going on here to gain control of your rights and pull you into the federal privilege system. So it's just a sad thing, you know. But we're redoing our protocols because I feel the core issue with every single person, and every year I've done this, and the more people I see, it becomes obvious. And I think most of you agree now. Isn't it becoming obvious? I just walked out over to the pharmacy, and here's a lady. Her husband is getting off of dialysis now. She's had him on the herbs, and now she needs it. Her kidneys are failing. His kidneys are failing. Everybody's kidneys are failing, and now you see it everywhere. Kidneys, 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 kidneys. So now you're seeing it, and you're tied to the swelling in the lymph system, and you're tied to the toxicity of the body and the acidosis of the body. It says you guys are ahead of your time. And that's the point. You guys are going to make the best healers in the world. You're ahead of your time. You're open. You're learning. You're growing. I love it. You guys should pat yourselves on the back. You're really doing good. I really love that. So what I was trying to say is that 2 kidneys, 2 lymphatics, some type of endocrine gland or adrenal gland formula, a stomach and bowel formula, those are essential. Every kit, make sure you tell them that's what you want. Or tell Jennifer you want the new protocols. And she knows what they are. She's typing them up. You want those protocols because that's you want to constantly move on your lymph system. I think one lymphatic formula should be the capsules to get into the bowels, especially the gentleman that's thin. We've got to get through that bowel wall. And I just had a conversation with this sweet Tina. You know, you're a sweetheart, honey. She has Hodgkin's lymphoma. She did chemo. So she's the sweetest girl I've ever talked to. And I hear her voice. It's like an angel from the sky, you know. And she's taking this on. She's into it. She's grabbing. She's doing it. And it's like, wow, wow, wow. Numbness in her body here. She's fighting this, fighting that. That's what it takes. She's going to be successful. And I tell you, it's just incredible. And if it's not, you're going to be singing to the choir, sweetheart. I mean, the real choir. I mean, you're just an angel. And this is what it takes: is you take life on, and you wear that robe, because you can't put your life's health in other people's hands. You must knowledge up. That's why I'm doing these videos. There's just too much destruction of tissue out there with these therapies and the insane ideas, and people that know anything about the lymph system telling you to eat cheese products, and I don't know, it's just got insanity out there. It's got cottage cheese for cancer. Woo! It's insanity. But go get that original, and then you can go from there. You know, get into the liver, the spleen, or anywhere else you want to go with that. She's had her tonsils removed at 20. At 20 years old, they removed tonsils. They still don't know what tonsils are. My God, you don't know what your tonsils are? Medical community, my God. Sorry, sweetheart. Maybe you'll grow your second set. Listen, they'll grow back. Especially if you're a raw foodist, you get your tonsils back. This time you're going to correct why you have them out. Remember, always work on your colon, sweetheart. Work on your kidneys. Work on your lymph system here. You really be good. You won't overdo the tinctures if you want to add, but make sure. I just generally focus on the straight and narrow. If you want to add, it's affordable to you. Well, play and have fun in the field of botanicals, because they're nothing but fun. You're going to find that out. You're already getting comments where you love them. They're strong, but don't you want it, when you spend your money, don't you want it the best? I do. I don't want to buy something that's inferior. When I spend my money and it's my health, I want something that'll power up. I don't care if it tastes bad, because I can't help that. I don't even think about the taste, you know. Go for it. You know, I had the president of the Outlaws of Ohio one time. He was a bad dude. And I got into putting the shotgun up against his wife's head, but I totally rebuilt him. And he was living in the now. I got him meditating, he out-of-body experiences. And this is the president of the Outlaws of Ohio. This guy was one bad dude at one time. But this guy would just drink my formulas. I mean, I don't even drink them. So this guy was good. Strong guy. So yeah, have fun with that. But keep that focus. 2 kidneys, 2 lymphatics, stomach and bowel, endocrine gland. Now you're really down the line. The endocrine glands, they control everything. The lymphs kills everything. And of course your kidneys and adrenals control all of that. Your GI tract, head down that way. And good questions, you guys. Let me see here. This is a lady that has a 2.5-year-old daughter. She stopped her off of 2% milk. Unsure what to give her now. Well, she's already time to be weaned, so you start giving her the fruits, berries, and melons. Real important because you need to start maturing her brain and nervous system. She's a Homo sapien. She needs lots of fruits, berries, and melons. If you want to add coconut milk, highly recommend that coconut and coconut milk. I was at a big mango festival yesterday down here in Pine Island in Fort Myers. I mean, I got mangoes this big. And there was a jackfruit this big, $60. I couldn't afford it, but I would have loved to have had that baby. But I bought a lot of things. They were out of lychee. It was out of season, but I got the Kinder lychee. So I got a bunch of good stuff. But the mangoes, I got there too late, and all the ripe ones were gone, so I'm going to have to go back. But I mean, they had like Valencia mangoes this big. It's like, oh, it was so good. So, but this is what your child needs. Fresh fruits, fresh berries. Most of the chemistry in nature are in those foods. You want to have some fatty acids for growth of brain, of course, and muscle, and as the lymph fluids. You need that. So you definitely need the coconut meat, excellent. A little almond milk, okay. You can do chia, hemp seed, you can fix yourself a nice, but she's already 2.5, so she's ready for food. So move her on down the line there. Forget the milky idea. That needs to go, and clean the lymph system from when you had her on the milk. So there's a little detoxification probably need to go on. And even when you add the fruits, berries, and melons, she probably will start detoxifying a little bit. So don't get surprised if she runs some high fevers, a lot of mucus coming out of her. What you get out of her now will make your daughter excel in the future and become one smart cookie. You get her on this kind of diet. Matter of fact, this biker's son, he used to try to break animals' legs and stuff because he always saw his dad violent against his mother. And so we detoxified him at 2. At 2 years old, he's wavering under the tree in the shade, throwing up black, skunky, stinking matter oozing out of his bowels. At 2 years old, he got black, putrid matter out. That 2-week of detox on him, he freshman high school taking college courses, his teachers couldn't stand him because he could see outside of the box. Most professors teach the box. He could see outside of the box and ask them questions that would confuse them. His own teachers. The brilliance. These are high souls. These young children, they're just young bodies, but the souls coming to this planet are of a high order. And we're giving them these horrible little bodies to come into. So we got high souls, we need good bodies because these souls are going to change this planet. This is where all these, the God awareness is going to be pouring in here. We need to help the bodies for these souls to have and not have them a hard way to go there. So a lot of fruits and berries and melons. Coconut, you're right, sweetheart. Excellent. Oh, you're asking me about a shake that is packed with proteins, vitamins, and nutrients that the body is lacking and, like you say, desperately needs. They are nutritious shakes, and they replace 2 of your 3 meals. I have heard testimony after testimony of people who have gotten off their insulin, been able to stop taking cholesterol medications, help with MS, lupus, fibromyalgia. Holy crap. I believe those testimonials like I believe a rattlesnake could give you a kiss on the cheek before they bite you. You know, these formulas, I don't know this company. I don't want to know this company, but I consider the wrong thinking. you don't try to figure out what nutrients we're missing. What foods are we missing? The nutrients will be there. This idea of protein is ridiculous because your body can't even use it. So already they don't know what they're talking about. And you're going to substitute a man-made chemical shake for a fresh bowl of fruits, berries, and melons in a big salad? I don't think so. You'd be better off to take our God's blend and just eat that. I designed that just for food. You could just have that for food and never want for any chemistry and power up with it. Just our God's blend superfood. Or just do green drinks. Use a lot of alfalfa sprouts, parsley, dandelion, spinach. Powered up with some green drinks would be more powerful than this. That's that Ensure crap. And no offense, but Ensure, you ought to be sued. You're sitting there pulling yourself like your milky, creamy powder of proteins and high fats and everything is like your fruits and vegetables. Are you kidding me? I mean, the con is out there. I've seen what Ensure, Pedisure, and all this does to people's lymph systems. Take someone that has pneumonia and give them Ensure or Pedisure, see what happens. Someone in a stroke. They sent this little man that had triple strokes. Hospital sent a lot of Ensure, so the nurse started feeding him a lot of Ensure. He almost died from pneumonia from it. As soon as we got him cleaned out, put him on fruits and vegetables. Now he was a feeding tube. No more mucus, no more congestion, no more problems. I mean, this isn't food. This isn't nutrition. You know, we've got to learn that, honey. No offense, but run. Luby, run from that. Fresh, fresh, fresh. Not slandering any company. But don't call yourself healthy. This is from a magical hummingbird. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Ooh. Oh, man. Yeah, I appreciate your comments, honey. I appreciate all your comments. This is a good one. You asked me about AIDS and whether detoxing the body gets rid of the virus or just the symptoms. Man, I'm not about getting rid of symptoms. I'm about getting rid of the cause of the symptoms. And then, of course, you're not going to have symptoms. No, I'm about getting rid of the virus out of the body. Not difficult. That's what detoxification is about. A virus is a virus unless it becomes an antigen. And then when it attaches, then you got a war. But that's part of the war of life. The strong survive, the weaker consume, my friend. Detox your body, you'll be in good shape. I've never seen anybody not cure themselves of AIDS either. I have. No, I take that back. For a few years there, it seemed like I had a lot of AIDS patients. And very few could toe the line. Some are so toxic they gave up from trying. A lot of people quit detoxification with me because we're so aggressive, but I don't mess around, as you see. I'm a no-nonsense kind of guy. And let me call it a nonsense God guy. But don't mess around. If you're toxic, get yourself cleaned out. You'll be good. You've got to pull the power of healing and vitality into you, and don't settle for anything less. You're the controller of your own destiny. You're the one. No one else controls your destiny, do they? No, you're direct from God, man. You don't take your orders from anybody. You make it happen. I'm just helping you with a little bit of the knowledge. That's all. I'm just a way shower. Here, there's a hole right there. Let's walk to the side here. If you choose to fall in the hole, okay, pull yourself up, climb out, and keep on going. I fell a lot of holes myself. Pull myself out and just keep on going. Next time I walk around the hole. Oh, this is... okay. Yeah, this person's had a lot of antibiotics. Don't worry about the reinstatement of bacteria in the gut tissue because you can't keep bacteria out. And I think I've given the analogy that I was a home builder in my past. And I never did seed any septic tank and never had a problem with them because you can't keep bacteria out of the body, guys, and it's going to adapt to what you're eating. And so that's the beauty of it. Trust nature to work for you and adapt for you. The water full of love. I like all your comments, bro. Thanks. Keep them coming. My next class, see Kathy about the next class. You know, I'm trying to make this a big class for you if you haven't noticed. I'm trying to give you all that information as much as I can. So this is a big class in itself, guys. And I'm trying to get you guys to become the healers that you are and go out and let's change this world. So the life regenerator, thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This was a question on even organic raw dairy, kefir, any of that. Some countries are into the kefirs and stuff. They used to sell a lot of kefir, but you know, none of that is fit after age 2. You lose the enzymes, lactase, most people. Now, there are some Brits that claim that maintain the enzyme, but why? You know, we need to get our head out of the milk's butt. We got to get out of that idea of fermentation and milk and stuff like this and yogurts and stuff. We do that, and cultures do those things. I tell you what, get yourself cleaned out a little bit and then just go have you some kefir. I'm going to show you your response of your body to it. You don't have to trust what I say about it, but spend some time away from all that. Spend about 3 months away from all that, and then go get yourself some kefir or some yogurt. And then I won't have to tell you anything. You're going to experience that right off. But get away from organic milk, raw milk, all the forms of milk. Again, we're supposed to be weaned. We're Homo sapiens. We should be drinking only Homo sapien milk. Not, like I say, if anything, goats, if you're below 2. But try to stay away from that. And the reason I'm saying that is that the lymph system becomes very inundated with these type of proteins creating excessive mucus. And boy, when you see what we're up against, Tina can tell you what she's up against. And moving lymph. Moving lymph, let me tell you, you're up against the battle of all battles. And so when you understand what congests your lymph system, you want to run away from that stuff. So because you just have to clean it out again. I remember I was craving a malt one day, and I was craving it. I had malts growing up, and nothing like a good chocolate malt or vanilla malt. I love that stuff, right? I hadn't had one in 20, 30 years, and I was craving it, and I craved it for a couple of weeks, and then I thought, ugh. So I went into the mall. We have a little mall down here, and there's an ice cream place, and I went in. I said, "Do you make little baby malts for kids?" And they said, "Well, yeah." And I said, "I just want a little baby malt this big." He kind of looked at me strange, and so he made me one. By the time I got out to my truck, I had a sore throat. I knew that I'd done it. I knew how mucus forming it'd be, but it was good going down. So I got home and I started eating some apples, and pretty soon I got a big wad of mucus out, spit it out, my sore throat went away. I created an acute problem by putting in my body proteins and food that my body had a direct immune response against, which is a mucus from my mucosa. And it actually made my throat sore because it congested my tissues, inflamed my tissues. Had I not known that, and I called up a medical doctor friend of mine and said, "Hey man, I caught something while I walked in the mall, and I need an antibiotic, so I have to see my clients. I don't want them to see me sick, so, give me something. I caught something." I would then suppress the mucus that I put in there, because that antibiotic would have suppressed my lymph system, my immune system. The sore throat would have went away, had nothing to do with bacteria whatsoever, suppressed my lymph system, and I went on, but I had another milkshake another day and another one another day. I would move from creating an acute problem in my body to a subacute. That's a deeper stage of congestion. It changes your mucus. Whenever you have a cold and flu and you get yellow mucus out, that's subacute stage of mucus. Your chronic stages are going to be more your brown and green mucus. And then degenerative, you're going to see necrotic tissue and black and sometimes even gray tissue. So stay away from dairy products is all I can tell you. This question is good about the scabies and lice and stuff. We do a lot with our parasitic formulas. You can, if you're really involved, go out. And that's where maybe a pharmaceutical could help you quicker. and get this taken care of. There's a lot of good soaps and health food stores you can get, and clean your tissues real good. You know, clean your body externally real good, and then start cleaning your body internally and clean your environment. Let's see here. All right, this lady asked me about her mom, who has no cartilage in the left knee and is walking bone to bone. She doesn't want a total knee replacement. Do you think her knee cartilage can regenerate in approximately how long? Depends her lymph system, and it depends upon her parathyroid, but you're probably looking at least a minimum of a year on raw. That's how it's slow, and that's how it takes to get the body to regenerate tissue. So I would be looking at least a year or up to 2 years to do that. So depends how old she is and about the knee replacement. If she's in real bad shape, you're probably not going to like me, but I would have her knee replaced and get her on a good diet so she doesn't lose the other one. And she doesn't lose her hips. Because if her knee's going, her hips are on the road, and so's the other knee. You know, generally it's one-sided a lot, but, you know, the elderly, they start losing the other kidney too. So it all depends on her level of comfort. I'd really detoxify her before and after the surgery, though, and get that anesthesia out of there. But fix the kidney. Why is she losing her knees, her kidneys, and her lymph system? And you want to fix that causative problem. If she'll stand in and you'll wait for, you know, a year or two to rebuild, then go ahead and do it that way. Then I would do a lot of green drinks, but I would do a lot of fruit and berries and melons too, and really get into the kidneys. Make sure her parathyroid is working. Does she have spider veins, varicose veins? Does she bruise easy? Well, then she's pulling calcium out of her body fighting acids, and she's not putting it back. So that would be problematic. And if you're going to regenerate her, it's more than fresh fruits and vegetables. You really want to get into her lymph system more aggressively, get into her adrenals, and definitely pop up her parathyroid gland. That would be very, very important to do that for her. Uh-oh, they're talking outside my door. Don't be surprised they open it in a minute and I gotta go. Let's see, ulcerative colitis. This person was 29. Are we ready? 9 years ago I had ulcerative colitis. Yeah, so remember that's inside the wall. That's truly interstitial lymphatic constipation, man. So you really got to get in there. And you're only 29. See what we're up against, guys? Again, going to the kidneys, going to your adrenal glands. Really, that's a core. 29, my friend. That's really, you got to get into those tissues there. Move your lymph system. Work on some bowel formulas of ours, drawing formulas that pull and clean that bowel wall off. Get into that lymph system. Very, very important. And because you're probably burning from the inside out. And that's not good. You know, when you that's interstitial lymphatic constipation, but that's all precancerous stuff. That you want to get that out of there, my friend. You're only 29 years old. You're in Toronto, Ontario. So, yeah, I know you're the one. You know, I was talking about that at the expense of getting them in Toronto. Try to go across the border or something. Maybe fix someone up across the border or something. Carry them across. I don't know. Just research the herbs in my, I don't have enough time here to get them. Just research all the herbs that I have in my lymphatic formulas and my kidney formulas. See what herb, health food stores you got up there, what you can come up with, and see how you go with that. You don't get on the raw for sure. A lot of fruits, berries, and melons. Stay away from the acid fruits and stuff, maybe a little while. Blood sugar better. Again, there's your adrenals. There's your, right back to your adrenals again, your kidneys. These are the causative factors of your problem here. Even though the symptom is in the colon, the true reality is you're born with weak kidneys and adrenals. Getting the adrenals up will control the blood sugar, and then fruits and vegetables, best way. Licorice, excellent, excellent, definitely for the adrenals there. That should help with a little blood sugar, and you already know your adrenals. You made comment on that. No energy. Yeah, moods are depressed and stuff. That's your adrenals, but check your parathyroid out here. Again, that's your calcium utilization gland. That's depression here. Yeah, that's what I mean about you young guys. I mean, males and females. You guys got to work through some stuffs. Our age group didn't know any better. Blood sugar swings and stuff like that. Keep working it, bro. Keep working it. Flax oil at night, okay. Cucumber, okay. Well, if your body's stopping, wanting you to get away from sugary fruits, well, get away from them. You know, listen to your body. I'm definitely an advocate of listening to your body here, of what it has to say to you, because that's really, really important. And I still missed a lot of questions here, so I'm going to shoot another video tomorrow on this, because I do have a client coming in, and I apologize, but I'll get to the rest of these tomorrow. But take care of yourselves. You're doing good. I love it. You guys are doing so good. I'm just super proud of every one of you. And thank you so much for your support. It really feeds us around here, and it makes us feel good that what we're doing is paying off. So have fun today. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Am I good?
You're good.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah.
You guys can't get rid of me. I'm back again today. I've got some time, so I'm continuing this question and answer. So I'm sorry you had to put up with me a little longer. I'm looking forward, Crystalline Ascension, for our conversation. Thank you. Namaste to you too, sweetheart. You're all good people. I really appreciate this. It's good to have just a world of good people. We'll all have joy and ecstasy from the love of each other, from each of our loves to each other. So thank you. This guy was asking me about Korean sea bass. Interesting name, bro. The difference between liquids and capsules. You know, I thought because there's so much malabsorption out there that liquids would be better. Some digestive problems and things, liquids would be better. Even though they're you know, it's like partly grain alcohol. This is pharmaceutical grain alcohol, which is 190 proof, and distilled water. But in that menstruum, I can give you 98% of that herb in every way. The oil solubles, the water solubles, I can give you that. And we have a 55-ton press, which is a phenomenal press. And we go about 30 days in distillation times. So in a clinical setting, that's the best you can achieve, really, and a 1-to-4 concentrate. So we started putting some capsules, because I need to have raw herbs for the GI tract. Well, then I wanted the lymphatic one in capsules because I wanted to pull interstitial lymphatic constipation. How can I break in that wall? How can I get through that wall? So then I was using Blessed Herbs toxin absorber, but I like charcoal and some other things in there, and I like the formula from Schultz's, but I wanted my own. I wanted my own astringents. I wanted my own unique formula, because I see things a little different than these guys. So then I came out with the GI broom, which I'm going to continue to perfect that and work with that. But then I put astringents and pullers and things in there, which seemed to be pretty strong. So this is what we needed to get into that wall. I need to just taper down a little bit. It's a wild hog. So I need to slow it down a little bit. But it's good. I mean, it's pulling and drawing. But when you're blocked in the wall, the name of the game is get yourself open. Not moving your bowels, get you open, absorbing your nutrition. So then we have Lymph Node 2 in liquid, which is bloodroot, I mean, these are strong herbs for pulling cancer. Black salve, which pulls tumors through your skin, is bloodroot. So then I wanted to create a liquid like that wasn't so strong as the salve. So I made one like that, because we have excessive amount of tumors in people nowadays. And these break up tumors and help move the lymph more aggressively. Keep in mind the kidneys and adrenals, of course. Well, then I put it in capsule. And I think I mentioned this in a past video where people were heaving on the capsule, and I realized, oh, the liquids weren't near as strong as the capsules. So it depends, it really depends. I like the kidneys in the liquids. I like a lot of things in the liquids and some things in the capsules. So about the protocol I'm telling you is what I like, to tell you the truth. But capsules are great. Liquids are great. I love them all. See, experiment on yourself and see what your body likes there, my friend. It says, what do you do when you find it hard to stay on a raw food diet? Yeah, you know what? That's why the parasitic herbs. That's why parasite them. You want to stay on that for a while and get the fungus down in the body, and of course deworm yourself, because a lot of people crave raw meat from worms and a lot of raw stuff that way. But the fungus, of course, is going to make you crave your pastas and your breads and your cheeses, and ultimately just work on detoxification. If you have to go a little slower, okay. Try to do your fruits, berries, and melons all day long, and then at night, have your salad and maybe a little baked sweet potato, something warm or something if you want. If you have to cheat once a week or something, have a piece of dead fish on top of a salad or something, okay, honey. But work with these parasitic herbs. I think you'll find it'll help you a lot there. And work through it the best you can. If you're not dying from anything, you've got time. If you don't, then you don't have time. If you're in with some serious issues, you just have to play with that. That's why I like your little symbol there, thoughtful twin. Play your get fungus. Most of us are full of fungus, just from the nature of grain eating and the nature of the adrenal glands and the sugar metabolism problems that we all face. And you'll see this questions in here kind of redundant from people in reference to their blood sugars and their blood pressures. And now that I'm showing you how all that's tied together, you guys are going to be like that. You're going to nail them right off. And the thing about you guys working with yourselves and working with the herbs is you're going to know. You're going to know what it is, and you're going to be able to help people. And when you're working with people in your own practices or helping your friends, you're going to know right off. And the more you know, the more authoritative you'll be, because you know it. When I'm talking to someone that knows something, I know they know it. I know, because they know it. You can tell by the way they're talking. They've had experience. They dove in. They wore the robe. They know it. It's like a mechanic with your car. You go to a mechanic, you got a noise in your engine, and the guy says, well, I don't know. I'll try to find that noise. Or you go to a guy that says, it's that, and that. I like that guy. And that's what you want, is people that tear it up and know the truth. And that's where you guys are going to be. You guys are getting good, and I really am proud of you guys. Let me see. This was a question a while back, honey, and I'm sorry I didn't get back with you sooner. I've had these all stuck together. But this one, she uses parsley and cilantro in some fruit juices. Even though you got the pulp out of there, maybe, unless you don't. I just don't mix my fruits and my vegetables, particularly my fruit, with more of your fibrous vegetables like your parsleys and cilantros and lettuces and your greens. Maybe if you mixed a cucumber, your veggie fruits, maybe you could do a little of that. But you're asking for fermentation in the body a little more gas and bloating maybe when you do that. And if you don't notice it, okay. Apple can just about go with anything, though, to be honest with you. So I really do try to separate my fruits and my green drinks, separately from that. I matter of fact, never mix them. I've never used greens in my fruit smoothies ever. I've always not even entertained that vibrational frequency thing. The sovereignty of the fruits and the ecstasy and the individuality is good to have, and then the vegetables have their individuality and their sovereignty. So I like that as opposed to mixing them like that. And I think you'll digest them better and everything. Of course, if you juice extract, then of course you are getting rid of most of the pulp. So I don't know. See how you think. Let me know. Oh yeah, the water full of love guy. You asked me about the Hep B vac. Oh man. You know, it's interesting about that urine full of ammonia with the Hep B vac. These Hep B vacs are bad boys, man. I told you about that little 18-month-old. She was 18 months when I got her, but she had had a loaded Hep B vac when she was 4 months. Her left eye literally went east, and she went into constant convulsions, and they claimed she had liver failure, and it was like, and that was right after the Hep B vac. So I got it out of her, but you know what? They had to find me, and they had to go through this, and the expenses of doing this, and you know, it's a good lesson, but we don't need to do those sort of things. Wow, you even got some partial paralysis out of this. Holy crap, man. That's sad. You know, I'm sorry they had to go through that. You know what? I mean, this is what's going on out there. Think of the kids that did get paralysis out of that. I told you, you know, when they started vaccinating for polio went up 670-some%. You ever have a chance, read that book, The Emerging Virus. And I can't remember his name, but good guy, good book. Really opens your eyes about the government and some things, too. And this guy, this is about the HIV and Ebola virus particularly, but he gets into the Hep B vax and stuff. And, you know, a real eye-opener. Put a lot of time in making a book that thick. So, incredible book. It's like it's a Bo Greitz book on Call to Serve. Boy, what a book that is. Bo Greitz, I wish you were helping the people now. Colonel Bo Greitz. You're a good dude. I hope you're not stepping back too far. This is a question on post-traumatic stress syndrome. Oh, this is a sad case, isn't it? And I tell you what, I was in the Vietnam era, and tours were one tour. If you had strong cojones, so to speak, you'd take 2 tours, but you really didn't have to have any loved ones back home, and you really had to be strong. I mean, one of those biker guys to do 2 tours, you know. These guys are doing 3, 4. There's a guy who did 5 tours here the other day, and this is the kamikaze type of thinking. I mean, you're in a land of kamikazes, and it's hard to win this way because you don't know if the children, you don't know about the women, the elderly, you don't know who has it. They all look the same. Real difficult. Same in Nam, and so it was like difficult. And so the stress, and what about the radiation exposure? My God, there's so much to this yet that's not even told. The story, remember from the first Gulf War, Iraq had suffered massive exposure to radiation, and the babies were growing without ears and noses. And imagine now, and from our own troops now. I mean, we've got some, oh my God, detox is going to be the only answer. So all I can tell you is that during detox, these images will work out. This person has to find his now and find his center and get strong with that self-awareness and overpower the mind and emotions with this. At the same time, those adrenals got to be shot. So you got to go into those adrenal glands and build those adrenal glands up. Yeah, you might have some detox emotional experiences, but got to get through that doorway, because I don't know of any other doorway. The glands got beat up with them, the adrenals in particular. Those are the stress glands. Those are where the emotions are housed. And really start cleaning that body out, and at the same time work on your spiritual side and get to that now, get to that center to where you're outside of your mind, outside of your emotions, and you'll pull free from that. Gosh, I feel for you, man. I just feel for these people. I mean, it's a nightmare. What's going on there, guy? It's a nightmare. The poor kid gets gunshots all the time. I mean, I know. Let me tell you, any war is bad. You know, it's unbelievable. Most animals don't kill each other to that extent. I don't know. The human consciousness, a very immature consciousness, and you can see how the ego is accented and I'm better than you and all that kind of crap. I find the individuality of each of you a blessing. I love to go to India. I love to go to Portugal. I love individuality. It makes me happy and full of joy in life to see individuality. It's the same with God. No two things are the same in nature. I don't know. We need to spread the love, guys. And you guys are doing it. I'm really proud of you guys. So, West, I don't know. I would get in there and clean his body out and really power up to the self and learn how to stop thinking and feeling. And I need to get to my spiritual videos. I know that. I apologize. I'm busy here, busy there, and putting this together. I'm putting together our new health club. It's called Dr. Morse's Herbal Health Club. There'll be no reason for anybody to think we're treating then. It will be obvious. Private sector, so we have some protection there from the insanity. It's like this kid that wrote me from Germany. He moved to Germany. He can't even get the herbs in Germany. Germany, what are you doing to your people? Why would you stop? Why would anything, and I included marijuana in this, why? These are natural herbs. Nobody has the right to tell you you can't have them. Nobody on this planet. That's an insult to God. That's bad karma, I call it. So these guys, I wouldn't want the karma of some of these people. Do your best. Do your best. I like your dissertation on insects and the little badger. That baby is strong. I know, but you're talking about species and their native foods for themselves. And I think the point is we got away from intuitive eating. Now, I've talked to a lot of you since you started more fruits. Those of you that were sold on vegetable eating, and you notice your comments are you feel so much better, so much lighter, so much, and this is the truth. Every species needs to eat what it does for its species. That's the way it is, and our vertebrates are frugivores, more so than primates. More so than primates, even. We're a more refined, more neural species still. So it even means more importantly, we have our fruits, berries, and melons. Especially when you're older. This was on rosacea, and all that. And thank you for your comment on that, MNP 124. Thank you so much. Enlightenment, self-realization fit in your... This question, Cristiano, is where would enlightenment, self-realization fit in your chart? In the now. Right now. That's the only time you're going to have it. Not tomorrow. Not after detox. Not in a week. Right now. There's nothing but the now. So everything else is illusion of the mind and emotions, and how we take ourselves down a path of drama, if you will. God is the drama king. But you would too if you totally realized that there's nothing but you, and you have that little drama in your life. Doesn't hurt if you're detached from the results. But enlightenment only comes when you are totally in the now, where you're more the infinite and away from the finite, away from the limitation and the past, the present, or the past and the future, I should say. And you're above the conditioned states where things are already set, conditioned, already felt. Deja vu is easy to understand when you understand creation's already built. We're just going through it. If you ever saw the movie written by Bruce Lee, and it was David Carradine played the master in it, and I had that, and it was on TV, and I stored it, and then I erased it. It was called The Circle of Iron. And The Circle of Iron is a great story on the path of enlightenment, only to say Satnam for those that are the Radhaswami. I would say the Satnam is when you finally get to God after all the journeys and the seeking of God, and you look and you fight and you go through all these things, and finally you tear open the world of God, and finally you see nothing but mirrors. It's a good thing. We're in it sometimes. Circle of Iron, written by Bruce Lee, matter of fact. Incredible movie. I used to be a kung fu freak, and David Carradine played the master, and So his student realized that through a lot of different experiences that the master had been through creation before, knew exactly what he was going to experience in his next move. And so David Carradine slapped the student on the face and said, "How many times? How many times have I been here? How many times have I rode this ride? How many times?" And that's the point, you know. A master is one that just helps you and doesn't interfere with your journey, but shows you the pitfalls and gives you a little nudge here and there, right? In the now, my dear one, in the now, the only place for it. And you're the only one that can have it. How about that one? You asked me a question about blood types. You know, they deal with the body's immunity and antigens. I don't get into blood types. I think you know that whatsoever. I've never made a life study of them either. I could care less about them. After I realize that something is in my opinion, ridiculous, I don't get into that. We've had a lot of journeys through blood types and royalties, as you say, and bloodlines, but you know, I just don't get into that. You know what? I find the same diet works on the same people no matter where you are in this world. I have clients like you see everywhere, from Belgium, Romania, Russia. I've got them in China trying to sneak herbs in. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Well, China, guys, come on, man. At least let the herbs in. I mean, herbs, you want the power, traditional Chinese medicine. Give the rights to whomever you think created them, you know. But you've got Japan, you got all kinds of areas that we're in trying to help your people to get well. And so never want to block the herbs, you know. This codex thing, I think all your countries that signed a codex, you have the power. You don't have to put up with that. Stop it. Get rid of it. You know, Canada's fighting it now in courts, I heard. Any government that takes on codex needs to be fired. Let them go. Kick them out. Because they're telling basically the people they can't have what God made to get you well. No, use this out-of-control allopathic community that you're going to pay out the butt, and you're not going to find a remedy, and you're going to hurt a lot. Some it could kill you, but, you know, okay. You know, that sort of thing. Oh. Am I ranting and raving again? But, you know. All right. Yeah, your sister, you're dealing in a schizophrenic and or some sort of that. I only have one answer, and that's get into the endocrine glands and get into the body's lymph system. But the endocrine glands houses these finer, deeper emotions and things, and these souls of lash. Now, keep in mind that you have a soul here, a very powerful being that's been through many lifetimes and has taken on experiences through these lifetimes and brought a lot of this baggage in. Plus, they came into a body that ties in with the baggage they have. So you can see that she has adrenal gland problems, she has self-image problems, she has problems accepting her divinity. And of course, souls move into creation and immediately start becoming the experiences, because that's how you, as soul, learn something. You have to become it. You can understand something intellectually, but that's not really understanding something. You can understand something emotionally, but you really understand something when you wear the robe. In other words, you take it on, the whole thing. And that's how God loses itself. It takes on its own creation. It creates and loses itself. But that makes the drama good, right? The best directors, when they can make you forget while you're watching their movie that you're watching a movie. This becomes real to you. That is a good director, and the best director is the Supreme Being. The problem is it loses itself and it has to find itself. Because when you have that yearning inside of the alone state, you have that desire to know what is in the darkness, in the aloneness. Not the evil, but what's beyond the beyond. What's God? That's yourself wakening up. And you have to wake up. So this is a both two-part to me, a spiritual growth issue and also a physical issue. Yes, we can open up these spiritual issues through detoxification by cleaning the adrenals. A lot of things are going to pour out, but okay, you work with this person, you work through them. This is why we need a lot of good healers, and in the future, a lot of good patients. As you can see, I don't have a lot of good patients anymore too much because I'm ready to go. So I'm just getting out what I can. Yeah, the water full of love. I like all your comments, and you felt your kidneys and stuff when you had the 200 grams of protein a day. That's 200. A lot of people have 300 and 400, but whew, it gets you. Take care of yourself, bro. I answered the adaptogenic herbs here. Astragalus, one of my favorites. If you review the herbs I use in my formulas, I can tell you I'm in love with every one of them. I don't think now I have a formula with an herb I don't love. You know, sometimes you add an herb when you're not really sure of it because there's thousands of herbs. But I love every one I'm with. Thanks for the comment in MP124. Whoever you are, I thank you for the comment. Nellie, is that it? Thank you for the comment. We do try. I'm telling you, people don't realize we really go out of our way to help, I think. And we do it because we love you. I mean, why else? Why would you not help people? I don't understand the other side of it. How's my time? I got 5 minutes. So, again, I apologize for the length of these videos, and I don't mean to rant and rave. Now, this person had been to a Chinese medical practitioner recently and been told that she has low circulation, that all her organs are sluggish. I have a mild fatty liver. Well, mild fatty liver would not be poor blood circulation, it would be poor lymph circulation. That is your lymph system. That's why it's fatty, because fats are antacids. And of course, where you see fatty deposits, guess what's there? Acids. So your lymph system isn't moving well. So this is both your kidneys, adrenals, but I can tell you your colon, you got interstitial lymphatic constipation. Fix up your colon there as well. High cholesterol. Okay, so what that's saying is, there you go. Your cholesterol's up because your acids are up. Remember, cholesterol is the body's main antacid. And of course, you're forming stones because in an acid environment, the fluids become anionic. They coagulate. They stick together like blood cells and blood and bile and cholesterol. Everything. Everybody likes to have a group hug in an acid medium because, I don't know. It seems in an alkaline medium, everybody wants to go home. Your question is, can a congested liver shut down other organs, making them perform slowly? No, but the same lymph system can. The same lymph system that shut down your liver can shut down the rest of your body, head to toe. Remember, this is 3/4 of interstitial fluids, and what's interstitial mean? Around the cells. Spitting up a lot of mucus daily. Now, we like that? We like that. That's what you want to do, sweetheart. Mucus out the mouth, mucus out the nose, mucus out the back end, and mucus out the front end. Okay? Very important. Mucus comes out in urine, stool, nose, mouth, and if female, maybe a little you-know-where. Liver gallbladder detox, you are. I mean, if you're detoxifying, you're going to detoxify head to toe, the lymph system. You don't need to focus just on one tissue or another because the lymph system is universal. It is the one in the whole body that you have to clean all this lymphatic system. It's head to toe. That's the problem. It's head to toe. And so this stuff has to come out all through you to restore good gland function. But also work on the colon with the stomach and bowel formulas. You can use the liver formula, but the problem's the lymph system in the liver. You can still use the liver formula, but I would do 2 lymphatics, 2 kidneys, and really get my lymph moving. Put yourself on a grape fast for 10, 20, 30 days, or a lot of fruit there. Thank you, Crystalline. We love you too, sweetheart. Thank you for the, let's see, what's your take on sprouts? I was living in a Volkswagen van for years and as a fruitarian, and I had some alfalfa sprouts in a little jar. I was growing them, and I wanted to break away from the vegetables, and I had them in the jar. They were sitting in the sun where the sun was coming through the windshield, and they were sitting there, for several days, and they were really green. I mean, they'd gotten so green it wasn't even funny. So I opened the jar, and I was trying to do all fruit, and I just took a big handful and then threw them out. Boy, in about a minute, and a big wad of mucus came out. So I did see the power of extreme green, but I've never seen greens able to do that like that. But I had them powered up in the glass with the sun coming in on them, powered those babies up. But that was one time where I saw a green really have a powerful effect on my gut and pulling up mucus out of me. So I did appreciate that. I've never had any wheatgrass that ever do that. And I used to make wheatgrass for all my clients. Oh yeah, I've been through the whole thing, guys. I've been through the wheatgrass. I've been through all of it. And but not anymore. Boy, in about a minute, and a big wad of mucus came out. So I did see the power of extreme green, but I've never seen greens able to do that like that. But I had them powered up in the glass with the sun coming in on them, powered those babies up. But that was one time where I saw a green really have a powerful effect on my gut and pulling up mucus out of me. So I did appreciate that. I've never had any wheatgrass that ever do that. And I used to make wheatgrass for all my clients. Oh yeah, I've been through the whole thing, guys. I've been through the wheatgrass. I've been through all of it. And but not anymore. So work in that way, okay? I'm over 50% raw. Good, 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 good. Get up a little more maybe. But just love a huge pile of just sprout. Okay, alfalfa to me are the most powerful, in nutrition and amino acids. You want to pump protein full of water? Pump alfalfa sprouts. Sprout them up, get them real dark, and pump them babies, man. Or get alfalfa juice. Man, you're going to build muscle. That's the best amino acids you can have. It'll keep your flexibility, keep your kidneys. And if you're lucky, it'll move a little lymph on top of that. Sprouted bread, I don't know what to say. Ezekiel's pretty hard bread. I could throw it against this drywall and knock a hole in it. So I don't know how I feel about super hard things like that to eat. But they're better. They're better. Raw breads. If you have some millet bread once in a while, put a veggie sandwich. Once in a while, I'll just get that. I'll get some millet bread. I'll pile the veggies on. My sandwich get about that tall, But I love a lot of avocado. I like cucumbers. I like red peppers and orange peppers. I do like a little onion now. Although before, when I was a fruitarian, no way. But, I like a real robust sandwich. I like a big slice of yellow tomato on there. So, when I really want to pork out, that's what I do, is a big veggie sandwich. But if I'm detoxifying, no way. So you see the difference? I'm not advocating living in detoxification like someone insinuated, but that's my job. My job is to help you get to where the bright is light and you're through this tunnel of darkness. And that's what these are about. How you maintain your daily vigil, okay, balance out, do however you want. You're going to know what you want after you detoxify and where you want to find a nice balance for yourself. It's okay, Lymph buster drink this morning. What'd you do? 2 whole organic lemons and a bunch of organic grapes in a juicer. Woohoo! Was that good? Yeah, yummy. See what I'm saying, man? See, Mike in Seattle, yeah, baby. I mean, that was right there. The lemons and the grapes. Power punching it. That's a lymph buster. The proof is that model I told you about. 43 days, lemons and grapes, no more lung or bone cancer left. Now, we'd worked on her a little before that with a big tumor on her neck, but took 43 days to kick it in the butt. So, good work. Hang in there, guys, with me, especially Crystalline. Hang in, sweetheart. Your joy makes me joyful, I'll tell you that. All your joys makes me joyful. We work through this. Hang in there. Not sometimes things aren't easy, and the body becomes chronic. But don't be your body. Be who you are. Be the gigantic soul, and I can look at just the name you chose, who you are. You know, be the beauty of who you are, and separate yourself from your bodies, and then get your bodies well. Some bodies need a little work, you know, and there's karma and all this stuff, but get free from that yourself and let your body go through that. Sometimes it's difficult because when you start on these programs, you get very body conscious. You start feeling all the aches and pains in it and stuff. And, you know, I did that. I could feel the blood moving through me. And I was working with masters that were so powerful, and you'd almost have an OBE being beside them. Okay, so I'm being cut off in time again. Sorry about that, but thanks for the comments, guys. I really love that. I love all your comments. IDBLAGENT. Thank you, man. You're a good guy. I can tell by looking at that smile on your face. Yeah, you've been hitting raw for a year. That's good. What do you think about the fruit? You've been hitting fruit, and you've been getting some amazing results. You know, that's good stuff. Thank you, too. I love you. Thank you. Thank you for your comments. You like Drew? He's a good kid, man. He really is. And his heart's really big, you know. He just really, I moved him from the back to counseling because he that's in him. That's what he wants. He works with TV and stuff, and he's timid. But, you know, that's how I help my staff is I put them right. I remember I had a girl one time that she had a big tumor around her aorta, and she did chemo, and of course it almost killed her, so she slit her wrist to kill herself. Well, she was still waiting to talk to a psychiatrist, and I had my clinic by a psychiatrist once, and I walked out, and there she was, no hair and everything, and I said, you in to see me? She said, who are you? And I said, I'm Dr. Morse, and she said, no, I'm in to see Dr. Such and Such. So I said, what's going on, sweetheart? And the story, tearful, but you know her mother was into raw and named her, and she was into raw as a child and named her daughter after Arnold Aird, thought it was going to be a boy. So she had forgot what she knew. So I grabbed her, put her all on raw and some herbs, and 3.5 months later, no tumor left. But they cut her vocal cords going in and to biopsy the tumor. And so she couldn't talk very well. You know what I did? I hired her and put her on the phone. Listen, thank you all. Come to New Jersey. I'm coming up that area. I've got a medical doctor that wants me to come up and give a talk to about 500-600 people there. And I just, gosh, I hate to travel anymore. You know, I'm getting kind of that way, you know. But I'm coming up there, guys. Hang on a minute. I know I got to run, so I'll finish. Should we use Epsom salts for liver flushes so that the stones won't lodge? These are soft stones. I've never seen anybody do a liver flush that really had stones lodge. But I really recommend you do raw and the liver formula and some herbs and clean your lymph system and clean yourself up a couple months first. Your golf flushes will work a lot better here. I don't never use the Epsom salt, so I couldn't tell you about it. And then there's that magnesium citrate a lot of people use. I don't get into that, spasming the liver. I got 1 page left. If she doesn't come knock me out here, let me finish that up, and then we're good. All right. Nothing. Thank you, love, Nellie. Organic germanium. Not really. No, I haven't had a lot of experiences with that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, keep working on those adrenals. Thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you again. Have a great night. I love you all. Just so great. Thank you so much. Thank you for honoring me reviewing these videos. The staff, they're overwhelmed with your love and your help. So thank you so much. You all have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.